Hello, good day everyone. My name is Novarisa binti Sulaini with matric number C21A1960. Today, my partner and I are going to present an oral book review that we have read independently. Firstly, I'm starting with an introduction. The title of this novel is Never Let Me Go. The name of the author of this novel is Kazuo Ishiguro. Basically, Kazuo Ishiguro is a British novelist. Next, the genre of this novel is dystopian science fiction and speculative fiction. The number of these pages are 288 pages. This book was published by Faber and Faber on year 2005. Reasons why we choose this book. This is because this novel shows what happens when a society is allowed to use the scientific experimentation freely and without considering the moral implications. Secondly, because this novel is about friendship and about prolonging the past, as well as a novel which allows the reader to question the ethics of human trolling. Thirdly, the usage and selection of words are suitable to describe the scenes and they are easy to understand. Next, let's go to the body content. First, the setting. Setting in literature, the location and the time frame in which the action of a narrative takes place. So, the setting was so important for the story because it establishes the mood, reveals characters and conflicts, and also gives clues to a story's themes. It also takes place in a dystopian version of late 1990s England, where the lives of ordinary citizens are prolonged through a state-sanctioned program of human cloning. Next is main characters. Main characters in this novel are Kathy, Ruth, and Tommy. Now, I would like to pass this medium to my partner to our review about the other parts of this novel. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I'm Prema Subramanian, matric number C21A2121. Today, I'm going to describe the main roles about their personalities, behaviors, their relationship, and how they change as a result of their experiences in this novel. Kathy is the protagonist and narrator of the novel. She is 31 years old clone who was raised to be an organ donor. During her childhood, Kathy is free-spirited, kind, loving, and stands up for what is right. At the end of the novel, Kathy is a young woman who does not show much emotion when looking back on her past. As an adult, she criticizes people less and accepting of the life of her friends. Secondly, Ruth, who is a childhood friend of Kathy. Ruth is a female donor from Hailsham, described by Kathy as bossy. At the start of the novel, she is an extrovert with strong opinions and appears to be the center of the social activities in her cohort. However, she is not as confident as the narrator initially perceived. She had hopes for her future, but her hopes are crushed as she realized that she was born to be a donor and has no other future. At the cottage, Ruth undergoes her transformation to become more aware, thoughtful person who thinks about things in depth. She is negatively affect her image. She threw away her entire collection of arts by fellow students, once her prized possessions, because she sensed that the older kids at the cottage looked down on it. She becomes an adult who is deeply unhappy and regretful. Ruth eventually gives up all of her hopes and dreams and tries to help Kathy and Tommy to have a better life. Tommy, a male donor and a childhood friend of Kathy. He is introduced as a creative and isolated young boy at Hailsham. He has a bad temper, which is the object of many tricks played on him by the other children because of his short temper. Initially, he reacts by having bad-tempered tantrums until Miss Lucy, a Hailsham guardian, tells him something that for the short term positively changes his life. It is okay if he is not creative. He feels great relief. Years later, Miss Lucy tells him that she should not have said what she did, and Tommy goes through another transformation. Once again, upset by his lack of artistic skills, he becomes a quiet and sad teenager. At the end of the novel, Tommy becomes a young man who is generally calm and thoughtful. Part of the story. Never Let Me Go takes place in a dystopian version of 1990s England, where the life of ordinary citizens are prologued through a state-sanctioned program of human cloning. The clones referred to as students who grow up in a special institution away from the outside world. As young adults, they begin to donate their vital organs. All donors receive care from designate carers, clones who have not yet begun the donation process. The clones continue to donate organs until they complete, which is a euphemism for death after the donation of 3 or 4 organs. However, this premise is not immediately apparent to the reader. At the start of the novel, narrator Kathy H. Hemmerly introduced herself as a 31-year-old carer. She has been a carer for nearly 12 years, but will leave her role in a few months. Kathy explains that she wants to revisit the memories of Tommy and Ruth, the 2 friends who grew up with her at the Helsham School. Lastly, Kathy does not explain the donation program or mention that Helsham students are clones. Conclusion. What do you think about the book? Never Let Me Go is outstanding in almost every way, a riveting and thought-provoking read from the beginning to the end that works as coming-of-age dystopian science fiction and has breath-inducing horror. Would you recommend the book? Yes, because it was a very emotional book exploring friendship and love. The students seems accepting their fate when they find out the truth. This novel really made me think about the situation, questioning whether it is ethical for people to suffer if it means helping a large number of people. What is the moral of the story? This novel, which shows what happens when a society is slow to use scientific experimentation freely and without considering the moral implications. This novel also describes about friendship and about longing for the past, as well as the novel which allows the reader to question the ethics of the human cloning. That's all from us. Thank you.